So I'm finally back in my room and I have all my cameras, all my lights, everything is back to being how I like it. And today I'm going to, since I've been missing this place so much, I'm going to be taking you on a little tour of where I make my videos. And that's just this little corner of my room where I have all these props and a wall that doesn't just look like pure white like the rest of my room. So I want to just kind of show that to you and sort of how I'm making these videos and what kind of setup I have in order to get this sort of look. I've gotten a couple compliments on how the quality of my video looks, not so much the content, but the quality of my set and how I achieve a pretty, I'd say, pretty nice looking image out of this camera, which it is a high quality camera, but in terms of the way that everything looks, it's all in the lighting and how I have things positioned, and that is really what makes a video higher quality. It's not the camera behind it, it is the lighting and the setup that is put into making the video that makes it look better. And I just want to show you how I make my videos look the way that they do. So I'm going to be bringing along this camera, which is what I usually use when I'm on the go. So first thing is get the exposure right. Okay, I'm recording on this camera now, so we can see each other. So if we look this way, you can see that I have my main camera right there, and I can see myself right up there. I also have a mic right here. This is my backup mic, and this is my main microphone. I have it boomed right above me, so it's really close to where I'm at. If you look from the side here, you can see that the microphone is, when I'm talking, it's gonna be right in front of me. It's probably 8 inches away. It's a little farther than I'd like, but that's the best I can do to keep it out of frame in this space. And then if we get up, we can stop recording. So I have this camera's grip is moved in front of the camera so I can reach it while sitting, since I don't have a remote for it. So it's something I can grab and reach out. It's a bit of a reach, but I can extend my arm and get to the grip. I can also magnify the image. If you see there, I can quickly press a button, check if I'm in focus, get out of that, start recording. I can also change the ISO so I can make it brighter or darker depending on what I need. But then I can also like lean over and sort of reach all the buttons on the side of the camera. If you can see that, they're all like right there. And I know where most of what I need is, but not everything. So usually I'm pretty much set when I need to change a setting. I have them pretty well memorized at this point. But in the back here, I have a wall that I made out of pallets. These are old pallets that I took apart. You can see that they're all cracked and they have the original nails in most of them. And the ones that were warped, I would shove screws in, like these ones there and there, to get them to lay flat. And they're visible gaps, so it's not perfect, but it's good enough for what I'm doing. And this wall was made entirely for this set because it doesn't extend all the way down and it doesn't extend all the way up, so I just did it because I wanted a bit of a more interesting background than just the pure white. It's backed by plywood here. You can see this layer back here is plywood, and these are all the pallets on top. That way I could just put screws wherever I needed to, and it would have something to bite into instead of just drywall and possibly the studs behind the drywall. And then for my props, I just have stuff that I found. This kind of fell, but some stuff that I've had, and it's nothing too special. I just kind of threw things in there, and then the bottom one you don't see, so I'll put whatever I have to shove out of the way in there. The guitars, amplifiers, these I don't play guitar very much, but they make good props, and it kept it out of the way from the rest of my room, so it was a win-win. And it actually makes me wind up playing guitar more than I used to. In terms of what's on my desk, I usually have my phone, my notebook, this cutting board, I don't know why, I just kind of have it. Mouse pad in case I have a mouse, and my water bottle, because I get thirsty. I have a second tripod that I usually use for making thumbnails because I don't have anyone else to hold the camera. I'll put the camera that I'm recording on right now, I'll put on here, and then I will take pictures like that. I don't use the C300, which is the main camera, to do the thumbnails unless I just pull it from the video. So I set up a second camera, or if I want a second angle, I have another camera. And both of these tripods, if you can see, they are on wheels, so I can just push it around and move it as I want to. Same thing with the main camera. If I need to move it, I can just unlock the wheels and then push it around as I need to. But I have it marked out where I want it to be, so underneath all the wheels is a bit of tape so that I always put the tripod back where it should be. I think this is the best angle for my look, and this is the view from right above my camera. I have 3 lights in total, 2 for the background and 1 for the key light to light me up. This one lights me, and it's going through a 5-in-1 reflector. So it's a big reflector, and it just diffuses all the light. Then I have a piece of foam board as a bounce, just to fill in the other side of my face. In the background, there's another light, and those two are identical. So that light and that light are the same, and they are both lighting up the background. They're bicolor lights, which means that they can, you can make it yellow or blue. So if it's like a daylight, you can turn down the yellow and it gives a bluer look. Or you could also turn up the yellow all the way and it throws yellow light, so to match like an incandescent bulb. I keep it pretty much in the middle for both. I want the background a little warmer than I look, just to give the wood a bit more of an orangey look and less, a bit more life to it. So I pump up the yellow on these dimmer knobs, and that gives it a warmer look so that I can be exposed normally and the background can be a little more yellow or a little more orangey. Again, just to warm up the wood and make it look a little more alive, give it some color, a little more color contrast too. But that's really most of what I have going on. I also made these custom rails, I guess I'll call them rails, that I have dropped from the ceiling. So we can get up there, and I have one on this angled ceiling, or wall ceiling. It's on an angle, so it's like in between. And then that little one, and this longer one. And I use I made these so that I don't have to have any light stands. So everything you see not on a tripod is being held up by these rails. I have clamps that hold these grip arms on, and they allow me to get rid of light stands or C-stands entirely for this setup. So there is nothing on the ground besides these two tripods. They are all being hung up right there on these wooden rails. I wasn't sure if this would work because I've never seen anything like it, but I went for it anyways, and I think they turned out really great. You can see that everything's being held up. So far, nothing's fallen, nothing's broken, and it works great. I mean, I have the light hanging from that arm, the reflector diffuser hanging from this arm, and then my boomed microphone hanging from this arm, and the reflector, this foam board, also hanging off of that same arm. And it works great. I mean, it's a whole lot cheaper to make those and buy the grip arm than it is to buy C-stands, and they take up way less room. You don't have things to trip over. You don't have cords on the ground. I don't have a single cord that's laying on the ground either. It's all hanging above me. I have my controller for the light, the power supply for my camera, just random holders. I have Ethernet power. It's all being run above me, along with this light, and it's power for that light. I mean, I have the cords for the camera, the power for the monitor, microphone. All this stuff is running from the air. It's being hung, and then it runs down to its appropriate place, and it's held up by these little clamps in some spots. And I got that monitor under there in case I need to see myself more, or I want a bigger screen. Usually don't use it, but it's there in case I do. And this so far has worked out amazingly. And I haven't tripped over anything, and I haven't smacked my head on anything, which is surprising. And then I also have a pair of monitoring headphones so I can check my audio while I'm recording or right before I start recording to make sure everything's good. And I mean, I think that is about it in terms of where I'm shooting right now. There's definitely way more I could go into, like the type of camera I use, why I use it, the type of lights I use, and why I use them. You could do that for anything, but this was just a brief overview, sort of a tour of where I'm making these videos, because I definitely think the set that I've produced or created is of a much higher level than the content that I'm putting out, and that's because I'm more of a filmmaker and less of a talent. I'm not really someone to be in front of the camera. I'm way better behind a camera, and I think that's definitely shown in terms of making the set and setting it up in a way that looks like these videos would be super, super great, but my content's just gotta get up to the same level as the set that I've produced. But again, that's it. I'm probably gonna have more videos around here showing you what's going on, and yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up for today. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.